welcome back to Ghouls Night In, the spooky chat show with your best ghoul friends. I'm Penny Snark.
And I'm Midge Munster.
Midge, it is October.
It is, finally.
We are in it. We are in our season, and we have gotten a few requests to just have a little bit more chatty October time, and specifically when we did our Halloween hunting episode this year, a lot of places had not put out their full collections yet.
Yeah.
So the people demand our opinions. they
Demand
didn't
our
get
sass.
they didn't get enough of them last time. So we're back for more.
Back at it again.
Back again. So I know I'm just going to start off and say, Midge, I know you have been doing a lot of like crafting and DIY work for your Halloween decor this year. Kind of what have you been doing a lot of Halloween shopping outside of that, or kind of what is the vibe?
No, I did not shop much at all this year. My personal perspective was that a lot of stuff that we saw this year were repeats of past
Mhm.
years, so I wasn't seeing anything like super new that we were excited about. Or the things that were coming out just felt like they weren't really resonating with me. So,
Mhm.
yeah, doing a lot of DIYing, which is always fun. Um, but yeah, not a. I'm trying to think like even what I have bought this year.
Yeah. I'm in a similar boat, except for without doing all the DIY. I got my big skeleton pillow man,
You surely did,
who
with
I am
with butt
very
crack and
fond of,
all.
butt crack and all, which remains the most insanely popular thing I have ever posted on my
Oh
Instagram.
my gosh,
So
I was not.
thanks, guys.
When you said that it was like popping off, I was like, oh, probably got like what, like 20,000 views. It's got what, like several hundred. Like
Yeah,
it's
it has 544,000 views,
yeah, that's insane.
which is not even slightly comparable to anything else I've ever posted.
Yeah, that
So
went crazy.
it
That's so
was
funny.
crazy. But I have that, and I did end up. We talked about it on the last Halloween hunting episode. I did get like a planchette platter from Joann's.
Which I never found. That
Ah,
was like the one thing I was interested in
right.
from them this year, and
And
I never saw it.
And I actually was not even there for Halloween. I was there getting fabric
Mm-hmm.
with my sister actually, and I was like, "Ooh, can we like dart really quick through the Halloween aisles
Well,
just to
yeah,
see
if you're
what's
there.
what since I'm there?" And it was like a lot of it felt was like, "Okay, like yeah, I saw this last year. I already have this. I already have this." And there was one of that like platter that had kind of like the pearlescent
Yeah.
stuff on it. So I did pick that up. So I am glad to have grabbed that.
I'm a
But
sucker for anything planchette shapes.
yes, I do love it. But I also have not been shopping a whole lot. It's a mix between kind of feeling, uninspired with things, and also that if you follow me on my personal, you may know that I had to get a new car.
Mhm.
So I was like, probably less shopping this Halloween season.
Fair, fair.
Um, but I am actually so I have not been in person yet because I have been trying to be good and stay away. But I'm intrigued by some of the stuff from Target this year.
It's nice to see something different at minimum.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a few different things happening there because we've got, obviously, with Target, we always have Threshold and then Hide and Eek
Hmm.
separately. Are there any particular, like, pieces that are standing out to you in that right now?
Yeah, so I was just kind of I was happy to see that there was a little bit more variety even within the hide and eek
Yeah.
line. Like even though it wasn't necessarily stuff that like I am interested in for my decor, like they have like those terracotta pumpkins this
Mhm.
year and a bunch of stuff that's in that kind of like witchy cottage core vibe with like mushrooms and moths.
Yeah, and
Um
it had kind of like, a different color scheme. Like, there were kind
Yeah.
of blues and stuff in
Mhm,
it,
like
which I
blues and
thought
sage kinda?
yeah, which I thought again, I'm fine with like decor doesn't have to be made for me. You
Yeah.
know, like I don't have to like it, but I also just want to see you do something interesting that isn't just a copy of everything we're seeing everywhere.
Mhm.
So yeah, I did think that was like an interesting deviation from the typical form of the witchy woodsy vibe.
Yeah, and it was just nice just because Target has gone, like, so
So
heavy into,
cutesy.
like, cartoon cutesy, which
So cutesy,
is
yeah.
is a valid decorating style, but it was kinda like, "Okay, if I don't want cartoon cutesy, there's gonna be, like, nothing here for
Well,
me."
and Target used to be, like, where I went to get Halloween
Yeah,
decor, like,
totally.
5, 6 years ago, that was, like, the place I waited for them to drop their stuff. So yeah, it feels even though I understand why they keep it more family friendly, it
Sure.
feels weird to go in there and, like, not see anything even kind of just, like, general Halloween.
Yeah, yeah, so I like seeing that and that, like, hopefully that means that they're gonna continue to kind of incorporate additional themes
Mhm.
into their decor going forward, because that is I feel like Target I mean, they have had some different stuff because 'cause they've had, like, the, like, spooky garden kinda
Yeah.
things, but as a whole, I feel like Target is one of the stores that feels the most, like, homogenous in styling for
Yeah.
their Halloween collections versus, like, a Michael's or Joann's that's very clearly like, "We have this style line, and then we have this one, and then we have this one."
Yeah.
So, it's nice to see a little bit of variety coming from Target apart from, like, the threshold and, like, the John Darien stuff is always really cool there, but I
That
want
was gonna be my next
Yes.
bring up is just that they re-released the John Darien line.
Yes.
That's possibly the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. That is the only shopping I've really done this year.
Mhm.
And I think I posted something on Instagram about this that I literally was a day away from pulling the trigger on some very overpriced eBay John Darien
Ooh, yeah.
uh, that I had there. Do you have any of the stuff from the original release? I don't remember.
I think I have do I have a platter? I'm trying to remember. I do because sometimes I have a hard time remembering which things were part of the John Darien
Sure,
specifically and
sure.
which were threshold. Because I have like like the matte black like skeleton platter, but I think that's just regular threshold.
Mm,
Um, but
I don't
which were the ones that you were lusting after?
well, because that's why I thought you might have this. There was a, like, Victorian graveyard platter,
Oh, I remember that. I didn't get that one
and I
either.
didn't get it, and then I thought of because that originally dropped in 2020,
I
I wanna
think so,
say?
yeah.
And so I legitimately thought about it every year for the last 4 years. Like,
Yeah.
it was the one thing that I was like, I could just, like, kick myself for
It's
not
your
buying that.
Moby Dick, your
Yeah,
white whale.
my white whale. So I was about to get that and a couple of the pillows on eBay and spend stupid amounts of money. But I was
Yeah.
like, I mean, you're in the
Oh,
same
yeah.
position where, like, when you get to a place where you have the decor you need, but you're curating really specifically to the things you want that you have like purpose for.
Totally.
Um, I'm willing to like get one or two pieces at a stupid price if it means that it's like the piece I want. Uh, but yeah, they then like that morning someone shared that they had relaunched it. And I was like, oh my god. So I bought way too much. I got one of the like 3D owl pillows.
Oh, yeah.
I got that graveyard tray. I got the tray of the like Victorian mustachioed man juggling jack-o'-lanterns. Uh I got well, and my favorite thing that I did buy from that line was the spider web like pin tuck style pillow that has like
Oh,
the
yeah.
fly caught in the web.
Mhm.
And they have that in a cake stand and like little serving plates. And so I got those too.
I was looking at that cake stand. I
Yeah,
was
it's cute.
It's very cute.
And I only have one cake stand and it's from at home. It's also a spider web, but it's like very like cartoon spider
Yeah.
web. So I like that that one's more like Demure.
Yeah. It's a dignified spider web.
Yeah.
Also, so this is not related to Halloween decor, really, but since it is a chatty show, did you see in my story the ginormous spider web that spiders built in the electric lines behind my house?
No.
Oh my gosh.
What?
I'm gonna have to send you this photo. But so in my office, I look out a window into the backyard and there's like power lines that go across the yard, and a spider had built a web between the lines, and it was like buffeting back and forth in like the
What?
wind and just like picking up like the shine from the sun, and it was so cool, and I was like, I'm incredibly impressed with you, spider.
You
Like
you done good, kid.
that is
Yeah.
a badass web. Like you built a real good one right there.
Wow. No, definitely wanna see that.
Yeah.
I
I will
miss
have
that
to
for
send you
sure.
that. I always think of you. I always think of our spider web episode and talking about them
Yeah.
building across things whenever I see them in unusual spaces.
Yeah, I'm like, "Boy, you better
Oh,
go back and munch that up." That's
we
got
did.
a lot of proteins in there.
It's gone now. I'm looking out there right now and it's not there. So hopefully you
Okay.
caught something and then reabsorbed all the nutrients. Oh, man, but you wanna talk about, like, classy and Victorian.
I
I
do.
am
I do
just
wanna talk about those things.
I feel like my problem is that as I get older, I am like, "Oh, Target, meh, maybe there's something good there," but my heart is like, "Oh, this Williams Sonoma collection," and, "Oh,
Oh,
these Le
West Elm.
Creuset bat stock pots," and I'm like, "Why don't I
Yeah.
like anything that's affordable anymore?"
Oh, yeah, like, literally I mean, not that, there's anything wrong with any of the, like, big box, like, Target Spirit type places at all. I just I feel like I have this problem with everything in life where, like, if you put 12 jackets in front of me, I'm gonna pick the most expensive
Yeah,
one.
I know,
It's
I'm
like
like,
the
I don't wanna be this way.
I know, it's like the curse of good taste.
Yes, it's
Uh,
just it's because it's, like, specific, like, the big box stores are making things that appeal to the widest audience,
well, and you
which
and I are
makes
both
sense, and but then you
yeah,
both have very particular
and are,
tastes, I
like,
feel like.
interested in items that we can use outside of Halloween.
Yes.
So really what we're asking here is somebody fund the Penny and Midge
Yes.
like year-round dark decor line
Yes,
because
please.
yeah, I don't know if you saw West Elm did these like dark like Victorian animal plates. Did you see those? And they're in like little little outfits.
I think they're because I think they might be owned by the same people. There's very similar ones from Williams Sonoma
I
where, like,
yeah.
they have ones that have, like, the witch on them, and I'm like,
Oh, I don't think I've seen that.
that look like an old, like, wood block almost, like, witch illustration in the
Oh,
center,
that's cool.
and it looks so cool, and I am extremely into it. Oh, yeah, the dapper animals.
And they're,
Those are
like,
so cute.
holding like, they have, like, the ram has his own skull, and then,
Yes.
there's, like, a vulture that's looking in a mirror, and in the mirror, it's her skull. Like, it's just really I'm a I have a soft spot for animals in, like, posh clothing. That's, like,
Yes,
a like, a top tier item for
definitely.
me. So I really liked those.
Yeah, the Williams Sonoma, it's their spooky soiree line.
I
Um,
think I maybe saw, like, a brief, like, an Instagram ad or something, but let
yeah,
me
it's gorgeous. So, like, they're, like, platters that have, like, this cool, like, floral and skulls, but, like, in a really classy way around it.
Oh,
I
and the,
know,
like,
Midge.
the
Yeah.
spider, like, cloth napkins
Mhm, and, like, there's,
and
like
the bats.
yeah, and there's, like, appetizer plates that have, like, scorpions and
Yeah, the
snakes and
scorpion and the bird.
raven and stuff, and it is just so gorgeous.
They kind of remind me of, like, a more upscale version of, like, the home goods plates that people
Mhm,
kinda tend to
totally.
enjoy. Oh
Yeah,
my
'cause and
god.
they do even literally have they have, like, a set of, like, vintage Halloween plates that have, like, old Halloween illustrations on them, which are really similar to the ones I got at HomeGoods, but are, of course, far more expensive.
Yeah, $500 more.
which is the struggle, but yeah, I love that spooky soiree line, and
Well,
I'm
yeah, and,
like,
like, that's one of those things, like, yeah, it's more expensive, but, like, the texture of the plates
"Oh,
and, like, you
yeah.
can tell they're, like, well
Oh,
made.
yeah."
That's
Not a compl I'm sure they are worth it, but I was
yeah,
just like, "Oh man."
those are so cute.
They're so
Wow.
cute, and I am just a big fan of that, and of course, like, I love those all of the, like, Le Creuset, Halloween themed stuff. They did that, like, matte bat print this year.
Yes, they sure did.
Oh, I love it, and I'm just like, "I do not need these things, but I
Did
want
you
them so badly."
did you have anything that you were, like, looking for this year that just never came across your eyes?
The so I was hoping for a big skeleton, so I did get my big skeleton, so I
Ah.
mean pillow, but so that was like my kind of my main thing. I honestly have not been out enough to really have seen things. I have seen a few things online that I'm intrigued by, and I'm just kind of like I just got to pick a day to go and do like a very
Intentional
a
hunt.
very intentional and mindful hunt.
Very mindful.
And stick some, firm guidelines on what we are and are not gonna come home with.
Sure.
But
The
yeah,
the Le
I
Creuset thing reminded me that the one thing that I really would have liked to have found that I never saw in person, I saw a lot of people find those home goods, like casserole dishes that were just a matte
yeah,
black coffin.
I want that.
Oh, I loved it so
I
much,
want
and I
that.
never ever saw it. My home goods had weird stuff this year too. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, you tell
They
'em, Midge.
Imma tell 'em. They had such a weird selection of things this year, and my home goods is usually, like, on and poppin',
Yeah.
and every time I went, it was like they only got the stuff that nobody wanted.
The reject aisle.
Yeah, and I fully believe that it was not like it wasn't like it was overpicked
Yeah,
because they were fully stocked the whole time
just
and,
fully
like,
stocked with bad things.
just and not even, like, bad per se, just, like, bizarre. Um, yeah, I I just never saw any of the things that, like, I was seeing people finding online.
Yeah,
Except I did get another thing that was, like, my intentional hunting. I think that's really what it is. When I have gone out this year, it has been like, I am going to Home Goods to look for this one item, and if
yeah.
they don't have it, I'm not buying anything. Um, and that was the spiderweb candelabras that I got for my dining room table.
Mhm.
I saw those on like a Facebook group and I was like, oh, I would really like to, because again, back to the cake stand, a lot of times spiderweb stuff gets really like goofy for some
Yeah.
reason.
Yep.
And this was just really nice, like black, elegant looking spider webs. And I was like, yeah, I want that. So I did find two of those and they were
Yay.
like $40 a piece for no reason, but
Ugh.
it's fine. It
You'll
was
you'll
like
use them all
well,
the
and it was
time.
like, it was the thing that I went there looking for, and I
Totally.
found it, so that was good, but
On
yeah.
a in a general note, are you feeling vindicated by all of the neon Halloween that we're seeing this year? I know we
I
we mentioned that a bit in the previous one, but I feel like even Target had like those big like kind of vintagey decals.
which I thought were cool, those,
Yeah. Mhm.
oh, that was another thing I did buy. I bought that Target, like, candy bowl that's the skull with the swirling eyes, the green.
Ooh.
Um, that again, not my typical decor style, but that was a piece that I thought was really cool. And it had a really vintagey vibe, so I got it. And it was, like, affordable. I thought that was neat. But yeah, I feel both vindicated and I would like Mr. Michael and Target to run me my money
Yes.
because I would like to have a conversation because literally everything I said in that video 2 years ago was
Yep.
like the direct lineup of Halloween this year, and I was like, I just wanna talk to the employees who are being paid to watch YouTube channels
Right. Be like, "What are the
and
people talking about?"
the recon employees. Um, but yeah, not the Not the neon line I thought we would get,
Yeah,
I guess. Again, Target just goes so, like, silly goofy, which
totally, yeah.
I don't dislike, but, like, my favorite my favorite piece is the, like, workout pumpkin that says
Oh, right.
pumpkin iron.
You know, like you do.
I was like, "Who is this for?"
Right. Well, that was also so I was browsing in preparation for this discussion. I was like looking at like Walmart stuff cuz I don't usually go to Walmart, so I don't
Uh-huh.
always see stuff. And I was like, "Oh yeah, they also have a lot of like neon and they
Yeah.
also have just like a ton of flocked stuff." And I was seeing these like pumpkin flocked nutcrackers and I was like,
Oh.
"What's this?"
The Nutcracker thing has been so big the last couple years.
And I'm just like, you go back to Christmas where you belong."
Have you seen that TikTok? It's like, "Scram!
It should,
She doesn't
yes.
wanna talk to you."
No, I don't wanna talk to any nutcrackers before October 31st.
Yeah, I don't I think what I again, I should have, done more of those, like, remake videos. I was really excited about the idea of neon in a really specific way,
Yeah.
um, and that's why I liked that skull candy bowl I bought. I think that fit into the vision I had in my head of
Mhm.
what I thought, like, if we're gonna revisit 80s, 90s Halloween nostalgia, but from a more vibrant perspective, not an orange and black,
Yeah.
um, what does that look like? And I thought that candy bowl was smack dab in the middle of that, what I thought it should look like,
Yeah.
and then everything else was just a wild card.
Yeah, there's definitely some stuff where I'm like, "Alright, so, like, you made this neon, but what was
At what
there
cost?
at what cost? Like, what was I don't think there was a vision here." I think you were just like, "Okay, so we're making stuff that's slime green, so you're
Right.
also gonna be slime green."
Yeah, that's how I felt about, like, Hippie Hollow, like, it was just like they were like, "Okay, this is our color palette, and now everything is one of these 4 colors." I was like, "That's not a collection, that's just colors."
Right, it's like, "Those are colors, a solid start, but we got a little bit more
Um,
work to do here."
I'm trying to remember if there's any other I truly only remember us talking about Michaels in the first one in the first episode.
Yeah, I think that was the primary.
The meat and potatoes of that one.
Obviously, they took some, 'cause and we talked about some animatronics last time as
Okay, that's I was
well.
like, I'm having a memory that I maybe already talked about the Frankenstein from Home Depot?
Yeah, I think you did. I think we talked about some animatronics. I'm kind of surprised. I don't know, maybe you've seen more. I feel like I haven't seen as much like good Beetlejuice merch as I would have hoped
Right?
to. Like this would be the year for some cool Beetlejuice stuff and like there was a cool animatronic, but not a whole lot of like home decor as far as I've seen.
Yeah, well, and, I think Spirit pretty much owns the monopoly on licensing for that. Um, and as a rule, so sorry to Spirit, I don't like their licensed collections
Yeah.
almost ever because it's usually just smattered with the name
Yes.
of the film or whatever. Um, the only 2 new pieces to that line I saw this year that intrigued me were the little tabletop of Delia's sculpture, and then they did do, like, a wall sign that was the flyer, which I thought was fun. I don't think
Okay,
I've seen
yeah.
that before. Um, but yeah, I mean, again, as a rule, I'm like, I could probably make something a
Yeah.
lot cooler that doesn't say Beetlejuice on the front.
Beetlejuice.
But yeah, I agree. I mean, I guess we did get some cool, like, things from non-big box in the Beetlejuice way.
Yes.
And I did get my hands on my popcorn, my sandworm popcorn bucket.
Good. I'm
So
glad.
I intend to do some kind of floral arrangement or something in that.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Yeah.
That will be good. But yeah, I mean, even though there are I feel like there are still things that I, would kind of want to DIY. I watched like, uh, I got sucked into watching like a 2-hour supercut of all of these Halloween sewing tutorials.
Oh,
And I was like,
yeah, buddy.
ooh. And something that this lady made that I was like really intrigued by is she kind of made like a quilted table runner, but
Ooh.
using Halloween placemats.
Oh, that's
So,
fun.
she did, like, mini squares that she actually, like, patched together, like, quilted, and then she, like, kind of made it into a runner with some, printed placemats that she then just kind of, like, ran stitching over to make it kind of fit in with the quilted vibe.
That's
So, I'm
cool.
kinda thinking that that would be a good idea because I'm always, like, into looking at the placemats, but I don't do a whole lot of, like, formal
Formal place
table
settings,
setting
sure.
type stuff. So I'm always kind of like, what would I even do with these? And I think that
That's
would be kind of a fun semi DIY.
yeah, that's cute. And it kind not to just be like a walking John Darien post, but that there was a pillow in that original collection that I don't believe was part of the re-release, unfortunately. But it was like one that said October 31, and it was this really cool patchwork of kind of like
Oh yeah.
vintagey fabrics. And something about that, like that patchworky look, just gives me like Halloween nostalgia,
Yes.
giddy, like woo.
Same. Like I wouldn't normally say that it's like a big part of my style, but I really like it for like
For
autumn. Like it
autumn,
always
yeah.
feels super cozy.
It's like scarecrow core, like it's very
Yes. You
yeah.
gotta have your scarecrow vibes. But yeah, I think I'd like to do something. I'd like to make something like that, and maybe also because I also feel like I don't know, I have been not super inspired by, like, table runners lately, which sounds like I feel like that's such an old lady thing to say.
I just haven't been at all inspired.
But, like, I feel like I always used to see table runners that I really liked at Home Goods, and for a long time, I did not have a dining table, so I was like,
Sure.
"Welp, can't buy these," and I would, like, bought 1 or 2 that I would just use as, like, like, shelf cloths, but now that I do have a dining table, I'm like, "Yes, I wanna get some, like, classic linens," and it's just, not always really speaking to me.
Yeah, there's a lot of sequins and like
Yes.
shiny threads and things now that are just not for me personally.
Yeah.
I want something that looks older.
Mhm.
um in the more like natural fiber type looks. Here's a Halloween hot tip for y'all. Um I have had to go to the thrift store no less than 3 times this week for a project that I'm working on. And I feel like everybody knows this already, but if you're looking for like cool vintage, especially like where clothing or like textiles are concerned, this is the time of year to be scouting your thrift stores, specifically in the areas where they put like quote the
Yeah.
costumes
Yeah.
because a lot of they save up a lot of their weird vintage stuff and put it in like categories for like pirate costume,
Totally.
vampire costume, but it's just like
Just
really
clothes.
really cool clothes that I would wear I bought the coolest vintage dress 2 days ago. That was like for I think it was literally for like a scarecrow. But it's this like probably from the late 70s or early 80s, and it's like a patchwork skirt that's attached to
Ooh.
this little like very dark academia like black tie back vest that has little patchwork trim
Oh,
around it. It's so
I
freaking
love
cute.
that.
It's so cute. And yeah, they were like, "It's a costume for you are an autumn person." I was like, "You're so right. I am an
I
autumn
am an
person.
odd person.
I am an autumn."
Every day of my
Uh,
life.
but yeah, so if the big box stores aren't doing it for you, like the two of us, get thee to your thrift store and
Yeah.
rummage like the little niffler that you are
Yeah,
because
gotta get
they've
that
got some
secondhand shit.
yeah, there's a lot of like at least my thrift stores right now have a lot of good like yardages of weird autumn fabric and stuff, which would also be a
Ooh,
great place if you
yes.
were looking to make like a patchwork tablecloth or quilt or not quilt, quilted like. table runner or
Totally.
some pillows or whatever. Got some good options. At least here's the deal. If the Missouri thrift stores have good options, I'm certain that some of y'all who live in much cooler places have good options available to you.
Truly. Yeah, I should get out. I should get thrifting and find some good stuff. I definitely wanna collect some more fabric for my wicked crafting.
It's dangerous. I can get so much fabric for like $3 and I don't need any more fabric, but I'm gonna buy it.
I mean, that's the question, isn't
That's
it?
debatable.
Does anyone ever not need fabric? I mean, you're always going to be able to use it.
Me with my literal like bolts. I bought bolts of Johnny Yennick's Halloween fabric from Joann the year it came out. Was that 2 years ago now? And I have literal just full, like 3 or 4 full bolts of fabric that I have yet to make anything with, and I should be fired from Halloween.
Or next year you'll be like, hell yeah, I'm prepared.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
ready.
somebody check back with us in a year. Did I
Yeah.
make did
Ask
I make a bunch of
ask
dresses,
Midge
anybody?
next year if she used all that fabric. Oh, now I know that if I'm like, hey Midge, can you spare me a couple yards?
If I say
I'll come to
no,
you.
I'm a liar. Yeah.
Yes. Well, there is still time to do DIYs. We are only halfway through the month, so I hope that some of you will do some DIYs. And if you've got more Halloween hunting to do, hopefully we'll see stuff. I know people are already, I'm already getting Christmas stuff promoted to me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
please just let me enjoy my Halloween first. You can tell me all of this later, but
Yeah.
please let me be
And
spooky.
you're a Christmas girly too, so
Yeah,
it's like not that you
I do
don't.
not mind Christmas, but
Yeah.
I as the Halloween must hold the line. We cannot let Christmas encroach any further on the year. Halloween
Yeah.
has to keep it back in December where it belongs.
You guys can start on November too. That's fine, but to,
Yes,
to not today. Not in
but
September,
not
which is when I
today.
started seeing it.
Yes, oh my god, I remember going I like and that's I mean, honestly, that's part of the reason that I get stressed out Halloween hunting is I go into a store to look at some beautiful Halloween in frickin' September, and I get jump scared by an aisle of Christmas shit.
By a 5-foot Santa.
And
Yeah.
Santa's like, "Hey," and I'm like, "No,
No,
Santa,
no
not yet.
Santa.
Not yet, please." Goodness gracious. Well, thank you guys for hanging out and chatting with us today. Just a little casual talk, but we love hanging out with you and telling you what we've been up to and what we're looking at. So if you are enjoying the show, you can feel free to leave us a review wherever you listen. We love Apple podcast reviews. You can leave comments on Spotify. You can send us DMs. I actually have a review today that I don't remember where it's from. I think it's from
Excellent.
Spotify. It's in my Spotify reviews little collection, but
You
it's
said it's
it's
definitely from
it's
somewhere.
from somewhere.
Can confirm.
Can confirm. And this review says, "Hello, fiends. You ghouls are just my absolute favorite. Between Penny's quips and Midge's infectious laughter, it just creeps through my bones in the best way. I'm so happy you guys are doing this, and you keep me company more than you know. I'm very grateful for you. Sinisterly yours, Jessie Lou, aka the Haunted
Oh,
Jester."
oh, sinisterly yours. That's cute.
Right. Yes. Well, I hope you enjoyed this casual hangout with us today, Jessie.
Yes.
And if anyone would like to follow along with the pod, you can find us on Instagram at Ghouls Night In Pod, and you can find me at Penny Snark.
And you can find me all over the web at Midge Munster.
And until next time,
Good.
goodbye.
Bye.